This boy and his girlfriend were kidnapped. When one of the kidnappers assaulted her, something inside him snapped. In sheer rage, he triggered an electric shock device and instantly killed their leader. But how did he get here? It all started in a broken, crime-infested city. We meet Tom, a quiet teenage gamer, typing at his computer with a headset on. Morning hits. He walks to school with his best friend Danny. In class, he can't focus. His eyes are locked on his crush, Lucy. After school, Lucy finally approaches him. They talk. Just when hope sparks, a bully mocks Tom for being too scared to speak to her before. Embarrassed, Tom freezes, but Lucy smiles and whispers, "Meet me at my house tonight." Back home, he rushes to get ready, until his grandmother pulls him into a long, emotionally draining conversation. Frustrated, he storms out the moment he can.
Tom arrives at Lucy's house and freezes. Her dad is lying on the floor unconscious. Before Tom can react, a group of masked men wrapped in bandages step out, recording everything. Terrified, Tom tries to escape. Then a gunshot. Everything goes dark. He wakes up in a hospital bed, his grandma holding his hand. The doctor explains, "The bullet hit your phone. It shattered and lodged fragments near your skull, but luckily it missed your vital brain areas. You must monitor yourself for any symptoms." On the drive home, the driver keeps eyeing Tom like he knows something. Tom's grandma notices and confronts him. Suddenly, Tom has a seizure and passes out. Later, back in his room, he wakes up, walks slowly to the living room, and removes the plaster from his head. His grandma looks at him proud. His injury healed faster than anyone expected.
A few days later, Tom's grandma gently tells him, "You should visit Lucy." He gathers the courage and walks into her room, broken, guilty. He tries to apologize, whispering that he couldn't stop anything. But Lucy looks at him and says softly, "I don't blame you, Tom. There was no way you could have saved us. No one could have." Tom leaves, devastated. As he walks out of Lucy's building, the world around him shifts. He starts hallucinating, hearing voices, dozens of them coming from phones, headphones, and electronic devices around him. Confused and overwhelmed, he rushes home, only to see a strange digital interface hovering in front of him, like something straight out of a glitchy nightmare. The signals grow louder, he collapses. The next morning, just before blacking out again, he spots Eugene's phone. Something about it triggers him. He realizes Eugene might be connected to the attackers. Tom tells his best friend Danny what he suspects, but Danny doesn't believe him. At lunch in school, Tom's new ability spikes. Through his heightened senses, he sees Eugene secretly sending a video of the assault to someone else. And in that moment, Tom knows the truth. The danger isn't over. It's just getting started. Tom confirms his worst fear. Eugene was involved. Tom focuses and makes Eugene's phone explode right in his hands. Later that night, at a party, Tom and Eugene face off. Things get heated until Danny, Tom's best friend, grabs him and drags him out before it turns violent. With nowhere left to go, Tom rushes to Lucy's house. They talk quietly, and as they look outside, they spot Eugene and his gang of troublemakers. Tom glances at Lucy and sees fear in her eyes, and he hates it. The next day, consumed by suspicion, Tom secretly follows Eugene and his crew. That's when he discovers they're about to meet with an illegal dealer. Using his ability, Tom hacks into Eugene's phone, allowing him to listen to everything from a distance: plans, locations, intentions. Later that night, Tom sends Lucy an anonymous message. No name, no trace, just one line. "From now on, I'll protect you." Next day, during school assembly, the principal begins announcing upcoming changes. Tom makes his move. He hacks the screens and leaks a private video of Cass, one of Eugene's friends, someone who once exposed an intimate clip of a student. The whole assembly erupts in laughter. Humiliated, Cass storms out, enraged. Later, Tom secretly messages Lucy again. She asks if he was behind today's incident. He replies, yes. Using his power to stay anonymous, he asks her, "Why did they attack me?" Lucy, still unaware it's Tom, confesses, "My brother refused to join their group. They retaliated. That's why everything happened." She asks for his name. He responds, "From now on, call me iBoy." That night, Tom and Lucy walk down the street. Suddenly, Eugene and his gang appear. Eugene steps forward, accusing Tom of being the one behind the messages and the sabotage. Just before things escalate, Tom uses his ability to send another anonymous message directly to Eugene's phone. Wrong guy. The gang is thrown into confusion. Their rage rises. Lucy is terrified. And Tom realizes nothing scares him more than seeing Lucy afraid. Tom decided to go even further this time. When he spotted Eugene and his friends trying to steal a car, he didn't hesitate. He used his powers to trap them inside the vehicle, and the engine began to overheat. Smoke curling, metal sizzling. Could you imagine being trapped in a car while the engine is literally about to explode? Anonymously, Tom taunted them, demanding they reveal their leader. But Eugene and his friends were stubborn, heads held high, refusing to betray him. Cass, one of Eugene's friends, finally panicked. He spilled everything. He revealed their leader's name, Kotz. Just in time, Tom released them, moments before the engine erupted into flames. Using his powers, Tom tracked down Kotz, ready to strike. But there was a twist Tom never expected. Danny, his best friend, was one of Kotz's members. The same Danny who casually smoked and hung out with them right under his nose. Tom didn't hesitate. He sent a shocking video directly to Kotz, a video of himself humiliating Kotz's car. Rage ignited in Kotz, who gathered his crew, determined to hunt down the intruder. And that was the moment Tom had been waiting for. With Kotz distracted, Tom slipped inside their headquarters. He unleashed chaos, destroying every appliance, When Kotz returned to his apartment, his eyes widened in shock. The place was in total chaos, destroyed, ransacked, his merchandise gone, either destroyed or stolen. The next day, Tom met up with Lucy. She smiled and said she was feeling better, wonderfully okay to go back to school, and begged Tom to accompany her. Without a second thought, he agreed. But the conversation soon took a turn. They began talking about iBoy, and Tom asked Lucy what she really thought about him. Her answer was sharp. If he wants to change the state of London, he has to do more than just this. Her words lingered in Tom's mind and pushed him down a dangerous path. Determined to make a bigger impact, Tom started planting packages inside the locations of crime dealers and their accomplices. He didn't stop there. He sent hacking signals straight to the police, directing them to track and arrest the criminals. And finally, Eugene and his crew were caught. One by one, they were tracked down and arrested. Did justice finally catch up with them? Or was this just the beginning? Tom was no longer playing it safe. He had become dangerous. He pushed his powers to the edge, shutting down the entire power grid and flipping it back on as if it were nothing. Can you imagine someone having that kind of control and using it without fear? Meanwhile, Kurtz rushed to inform his leader, L-Man, about the chaos Tom was causing. L-Man scrambled, desperately trying to find a solution. That very night, Kurtz called all the family members in the neighborhood and ordered them to hand over every single phone. The gang leader mobilized his crew, collecting devices from every apartment, leaving the neighborhood almost completely cut off. The next day, iBoy went online while taking a test and was hit with a flood of negative comments. But when he got home, he realized even his grandmother wasn't spared from the attacks. How do you recover when the people you love are being dragged into your battle? Tom decided it was time to lay low, for now. Days passed, and only when he was certain that the enemy had lowered their guard did he finally strike back. But his grandmother noticed something was off. Worried, she spoke with her best friend, Danny. She admitted, "I believe Tom has changed, but I still hope he's a good boy. Keep an eye on him just in case." Could she sense the danger Tom was about to unleash, or was it already too late? Later, we see Tom standing above Kurtz, watching him approach his car. He sends a message to Lucy, "This ends today." But Lucy's reply hits him like a punch. "Stop, Tom. You're only doing this to satisfy yourself." Her words linger in his mind. Could she be right? Is he crossing a line he can't come back from? Either way, Tom moves forward. He tracks Kurtz using his phone, but Kurtz, clever and cautious, drops his device into a trash can, disappearing from the radar. Frustration builds inside Tom. Then he spots an airplane soaring high above. An idea sparks. He uses the aerial view to track Kurtz's vehicle. He jumps on his bike and speeds toward the location. When he arrives, he doesn't hesitate. He burns down all of Kurtz's merchandise, leaving nothing behind. But victory is short-lived. Kurtz and his crew ambush him, punching and kicking relentlessly. Tom is on the brink of being taken down. In a desperate move, he unleashes a shockwave, sending the kidnappers reeling, just enough time for him to catch his breath. Even so, the battle takes a toll. Severely injured and disoriented, hallucinations cloud his mind. He crashes into a lamppost and collapses, his fate hanging by a thread. Will he survive the next day? Later, Tom wakes up in a strange location, disoriented and with no memory of how he got there. Lucy calls, asking him to accompany her to school, but no matter how hard she tries, Tom doesn't respond. Eventually, she resigns herself and walks to school alone. After her exam, Lucy finds Tom on the apartment stairs. She's frustrated and refuses to hear any excuses. But then something catches their attention. Across the way, they notice a group of young students gathered at a particular spot. Curiosity turns to horror when they look closer. Cass has taken his own life, hanging from the roof of the school building. Shock and disbelief hit them both like a wave. How could someone so young feel driven to such a desperate act? Later, Tom sits down with Danny, searching for answers. What could have caused Cass to do this, he asks. Danny's voice is heavy with guilt. It's all because of iBoy. He started all the chaos, all the confusion that led to this. Could Tom have done something to prevent this, or is the cost of his actions just beginning to reveal itself?
As he made his way home, a strange noise echoed from his apartment. Heart pounding, he rushed in, only to be ambushed by a group of thugs. And then he looked up. There, standing in the shadows, was their leader, L-Man. Confused and terrified, Tom's grandmother Nancy stepped forward confronting L-Man, but before she could do anything, a swift strike from Cuts sent her collapsing to the floor. Unconscious, she was carried away to another room by L-Man's men. And then, L-Man revealed something that made Tom's blood run cold. He knew about Tom's powers. His friend Danny ratted him out, all because of money. What the hell? He wasn't just any criminal. He was the mastermind behind every mission, every act of chaos orchestrated by his crew. L-Man was the true leader of the underworld in their neighborhood, and everything that had happened so far had been part of his plan. How could Tom fight someone who had been controlling the entire game from the shadows? Could he survive this ultimate revelation, or was he already one step behind? L-Man leaned in, his voice cold and commanding. "Join us, Tom, or I'll take your life." Faced with this threat, Tom didn't flinch, not even an inch. Frustrated, L-Man moved to his second option. He pinned Tom to the floor, forcing him to do something against his will: track Lucy. Using his powers, Tom discovered the horrifying truth. Lucy had been kidnapped, and not just by anyone. Eugene and his crew were holding her, planning to kill her if Tom refused to comply. L-Man wasn't done. He demanded that Tom transfer a huge sum of money to his account. Every second counted. But Tom had a plan. While appearing to comply and sending the money, he secretly alerted the police to Lucy's location. Meanwhile, Eugene and his crew were preparing to execute Lucy. Could she survive this? When they heard the police sirens approaching, panic set in. They muffled Lucy's mouth, ensuring that no matter how much she screamed, the cops wouldn't be able to find her. And to make sure she couldn't reach help, they smashed her phone. The tension was unbearable. Lucy's life hung by a thread, and Tom had to act fast. Would he save her in time, or was this the moment everything fell apart? When Tom realized Lucy's phone had been smashed, a spasm of panic flashed across his face. L-Man noticed immediately. Without hesitation, he and his crew jumped into their car, speeding toward the warehouse where Lucy was being held. Inside the warehouse, Eugene and his friends finally breathed a sigh of relief, thinking the police were gone and danger had passed. But Lucy wasn't helpless. Quietly, she snatched one of their guns and aimed it at them. Could you imagine standing up to armed criminals like that? She demanded answers, forcing them to kneel, but she couldn't bring herself to pull the trigger. Courage and fear battled within her. As she made her way toward the warehouse door, hope seemed just within reach until L-Man and his crew appeared, blocking her escape. Cornered, ambushed, and with no way out, she faced their cruel wrath. Back outside, L-Man gave Tom the order to continue the transaction, but Tom wasn't backing down. Anger and determination surged through him. He focused all his energy on the phones of every crew member. Time slowed as L-Man watched in horror. He threw his phone away, hoping to avoid the consequences, but it was too late. The phones in the pockets of his crew members exploded, chaos erupting around them. Seizing the moment, Lucy struck, hitting Eugene with a precise maneuver that sent him reeling. L-Man fled outside, and Tom followed, ready to confront the mastermind for once and for all. Will Tom finally put an end to L-Man's reign, or is the danger far from over?
Later, Tom and L-Man faced off in a confrontation that shook the entire warehouse. Every attack thrown was met with resistance, neither backing down, neither yielding an inch. Tom unleashed a massive shockwave, hoping to end it, but L-Man headbutted him to the ground, leaving him dazed. Then, suddenly, Lucy appeared, gun in hand. She pulled the trigger, but L-Man, enraged and confused, grabbed her and struck her brutally. Seeing Lucy being attacked ignited a fury in Tom. Summoning every last ounce of his energy, he focused it into his head, releasing a devastating shockwave that instantly eliminated L-Man. Victory came at a cost. Tom had drained all his power and collapsed exhausted. The next day, Tom awoke in the hospital. Relief washed over him when he saw his grandmother by his side. Later, back home, he shared a quiet, comforting lunch with her, peace finally returning after the chaos. As he walked down the street, he encountered his best friend, Danny, the same friend who had betrayed him to L-Man. Danny begged for forgiveness, but Tom's suspicion burned too strongly. He refused, believing Danny had recorded the assault video of Lucy and his brother. Their friendship ended on a bittersweet note. Tom moved on, and life returned to some sense of normalcy. On a balcony overlooking the city, Tom and Lucy shared a romantic dinner. The night ended with a kiss, marking the beginning of their relationship, love blooming after all the chaos. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more exciting movie recaps.